Hello and welcome. And I guess today I'm going to try to talk about anger, which is, I don't know, maybe it's a taboo topic, maybe it's not, but I feel like all my conversations are trying to talk about wholeness, and part of being whole is being connected to all of your emotions. And anger is one of those emotions. It's definitely a hard one to talk about because I feel like if my words are misconstrued, is that how you say that word? I'm not sure, but let's just roll with it. People can use anger as an excuse to kind of act like I don't know, a crazy person. So I'm hoping, at least for this one time, I choose my words carefully because I don't want to say something that would give someone permission to be a bit of an asshat. But yeah, anger is just another emotion, another sensation. There's nothing inherently wrong about it. And in certain circumstances, it's a really useful emotion, especially when you're in danger or if someone's trying to cross your boundaries. It can be really effective to be angry. It's a whole lot easier to say no to someone when you're angry. And if you can't get angry, sometimes you might be saying yes when deep down you want to say no because you're afraid of the consequences. So anger isn't really a problem. It's something you can utilize. You kind of need it to be whole. You need the entire spectrum of emotions to be whole, and anger is one of them. It's just the part where it gets a bit out of hand if it's kind of targeted at someone or something, whether it be at someone else or yourself, a group of people. When it's almost like a vendetta, that's when the suffering part comes in, the part that it's not very helpful to have. So, and I'm not good with my words right now, but misuse of anger or one that will cause you to suffer is a type of anger where it feels like you've got a vendetta. It can be against yourself, or like you hate yourself. There's like an opinion and it causes you to be angry, and your opinion is justified because you feel angry because you think you're worthless or something. It can be toward a specific person, but you have all this justification because there's the feeling of anger there, or it can be for a group of people. Anything where it almost feels like there's an object of the anger and there's almost this like mental justification. That's when the anger is kind of got a hold of you instead of anger just being, just another emotion that's here to help guide you and be more authentic and real. I'm pretty sure you've met someone, or maybe you are that person where you almost hate someone, or maybe a group of people. You see it plenty of times where there's just people that just like they hate women, or they hate men, or they hate a specific animal, like they hate dogs or they hate cats, and they feel justified in their anger. That's kind of when things have gone a bit too far. When it feels like when the anger feels justified and you can almost logic your way into why this is justified because you're giving it reasons. Because anything you can come up with that's logical is just another thought. And we're trying to get back to being able to feel anger and use it appropriately. It's when you can it kind of just arises, but it doesn't feel personal, like you're out to get someone. Like if someone was trying to touch you inappropriately and you were angry, then you would just react in a very natural way with anger. Although if you make someone like an enemy, like for example, going back to you put a specific group in, you're trying to reason that they're bad because of this or that. It's hard for me to think of examples because I don't really constantly try to think of reasons why I should hate a group of people or a specific person. So it's really hard for me to try to come up with examples. But yeah, if you're gonna tell, I'm trying to think of examples, but it's something that's actually very hard for me. But anyways, yeah, it's I would actually encourage people to get in touch with their anger, especially if they're a people pleaser, because if you're always saying yes, but you don't know when it feels appropriate to say no, you're probably disconnected with your feelings of anger. And if you shut it down so much, later on it comes not in a small way, but in a big explosive way. So anger is fine. If you can connect to it, you can really listen to what are you angry about and what is it asking of you before it gets too big and explosive. So anger is great, especially when someone's trying to cross your boundaries, especially if someone's trying to touch you inappropriately. And I'm a big advocate of you should get angry. Scare the other person off. Be angry. But when it becomes like almost a vendetta, like I hate, I'll just not, I don't have these opinions. I just need to give an example, but I'm going to try to become like a bigot for a bit. Like if it becomes like I hate women, I guess. I'm trying to think of a reason why you would just hate women because they're women. This is really hard for me if you couldn't tell. Uh, I almost, I was want to just Google it, but honestly, I might just drop the example. But if you get bitter about a group of people and you can almost write on paper like this is why they're bad, then the anger has a hold of you because anything you can logically reason with, it comes from your head. And we're trying to get you out of your head and back into your body. But it was just anger in a way where it's giving you information of this situation doesn't feel quite right. And it's really getting you back into your intuition. Because sometimes you have to be angry or just assertive. In a way, you can be just assertive without the anger, but sometimes people won't listen to you and they will try to cross your boundaries. So get angry. Yeah, I'm just kind of rambling on that. I would very much try to promote healthy anger where you're in touch with the feeling, where you're not using it as an excuse to attack or hold a personal grudge, whether it be an individual, a species, a group of people. That's maybe you want to reflect back. And what feeling of hurt are you trying to avoid by projecting anger outside of yourself? But anger in itself isn't bad or dangerous. It's a very helpful emotion. Just going to point you towards how am I being mistreated or how am I lying to myself? Because that's a form of mistreatment of yourself. So don't worry about anger being a bad thing. If anything, you should explore in a safe environment. I wouldn't promote being angry at people, but I definitely promote feeling the anger. You don't have to express it specifically unless yeah, if your boundaries are being crossed. I definitely promote being angry and expressing it as fiercely as you can. But yeah, anger isn't the problem. It's really just energy. And it's trying to tell you something important. But if it gets so big, it's kind of hard to listen and it might kind of explode. But really getting used to anger and not making it the enemy, where you can really pick up on it when it's kind of small, just a small level. I'm a little ticked off at something. I wonder what it's about. Just get so familiar with anger that it doesn't need to get so big to grab your attention. When it's just a small little annoyance, you're like, and you can connect with that and try to figure out what is this telling me? But you don't have to wait until it gets big enough where you just feel like you've got to explode and scream. And honestly, I think that's about it. My words were kind of jumbled, so sorry about that. But I hope this helps someone. Hopefully. Especially if you feel like you're not allowed to be angry. I hope you can find the time and space to let yourself feel angry without necessarily being angry at someone or something. Just be angry for a while and just really feel through what does anger actually feel like, especially when you're not projecting it onto anything. You're not reasoning why you should be angry or why you shouldn't be angry. Just what does anger feel like? And is it so bad to feel angry? Really, that's it. So I guess I'll end it here. Thanks for listening. Bye.